Hello, 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 and welcome to this episode of the Afrocentrist podcast and this segment, you know, Thursday live sessions. Okay, so we got inspiration from this particular segment to go live all through the month of April in our multiple segments. And yeah, because why? Well, if you ask me, because April is such a special month. It's my birth month, and so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make it super special, right? And come all out, giving you content that are valuable, that will be of of value to you. And so I am super excited that this month of April is so special. Most of our content will be live. Of course, not all the segments, but I know for sure more Business Mondays are going to have live sessions. Thursday live sessions are going to be live, and then Discovery Tuesdays as well. So this is the energetic EJ. In case this is your first time of joining us on the show, you are welcome. We are glad that you are here. So please click on the subscribe button if this is your first time on this YouTube channel. But if not, then thank you for being a member or thank you for being a subscriber to this channel. But if this is your first time, again, click on that subscribe button now and turn on the post notification so that you are alerted every time that we go live on this channel. Now, in case you have never connected or consumed any of our content before, I'd like to introduce you to the segments that we have on the Afrocentrist podcast. Why? Because at the Afrocentrist podcast, we podcast with a difference, and I'm super excited to be, in that capacity to do this. No, now we have segments Mondays through Fridays. Mondays are Business Mondays, where I get to showcase businesses who offers solution, product, or services for other businesses. So if you're watching this and you are a business owner, but your service and products and solutions are for other businesses, then you want to slide into our DMs or you want to send us an email to theafrocentrist@gmail.com so that you are able to be a part of the show. Tuesdays are for Discovery Tuesdays. And on Discovery Tuesdays, we talk about everything personal identity and how it affects our relationships. So we're talking identity, we're talking relationships with others and with self, all right? That is what Discovery Tuesday covers, and is hosted by two amazing coaches that are working with me on my team, Coach Solomon and Coach Ididion. So you don't want to miss out on that. If you missed out on the last episode of Discovery Tuesday, you should go jump on it. It was amazing and speaks to relationship and dealing with emotionally unavailable people, right? And then one of the best sellers, if I would say so myself, on the segment is the woman, her story, her impact, that happens every Wednesday, where I get to speak to women from across the world, sharing their stories and how they are currently impacting their world. And that has literally blown me up, blown me away with the amount of stories that I've listened to. And I can't wait to share more. More are coming. So you want to stay tuned to that. Look forward to that every Wednesday. And here, Thursday, like we're having right now, is Thursday live sessions, which is actually designed to be the interactive segment on the show, bringing it to you live and showcasing, thought leaders and experts in their field. And today, I'm super excited about the thought leader we have in our midst. I've watched him over the months, I got to, interacted with his content sometime last year, and I've watched how he's really, really making a huge impact in the youth space, impacting youth in Nigeria. And I'm just so excited to have him on the show today. And then we have the newest segment, which was introduced last week, which is Fun Fridays, where this is where we get to do anything we like, right? We can goof on air, we can talk whatever, we can talk on about everything and anything, right? And this is called Fun Friday. And we are extending that invitation to you to be a part of Fun Friday, where you can actually be a part of our recording session and jump on whatever conversations we are having, so that by the time it goes live on the next Friday, you are a part of the show. Yes, like hosting with us, exactly. So if you've ever nursed the idea of being a part of a podcast, not just as a guest, but as part of the conversation, then Fun Friday is the place that you want to be. So if you're interested in that, please send us an email to theafrocentrist@gmail.com. I'm going to scroll these emails and this information on the screen in a short while. But for now, let me give you an introduction of the person, of the guest that we're going to have on board today. So now my guest today is Val Okafor. And Val Okafor is an effective leadership evangelist productivity strategist, transformational speaker, and social innovator with an incredible passion to help individuals and corporations achieve exponential growth. He brings to bear practical knowledge that translates to wisdom and results. He sits as the executive director and training consultant at the Val Okafor Company, where he provides value based leadership development and personal effectiveness training for individuals and corporations. He is a Nigerian youth SDG Champion, African ChangeMakers Fellow, Commonwealth Open Source Leader, Alumnus of the YALI Regional Leadership Conference West Africa, and a proud ambassador of the Fela Durotoye Leadership Network. Fantastic. And, he is an amazing, he's called the productivity strategist. So, even at the choice of the topic we're talking about today, I am like ready to learn from him, talking about being your higher self. Like, okay, how to connect to your higher self. Yes. At first, I was like, are you sure higher or higher? But it's like, yeah, higher. So I am also, inquisitive. I'm also curious to know what he meant by higher self. So do sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, your cup of coffee. If you're here right now, please do well to share this link with somebody that you know should benefit from this segment. All right, share the link. I'm going to be doing that shortly once I have my guest on the screen. So without further ado, drum roll, I am going to bring on stage my guest in the person of Val Okafor. Hi.
Hello, the energetic EJs. It is a pleasure to join you on this live, and I'm grateful. I'm honored. While we're dishing out the things that you do on the podcasts, I was just like, wow, this is amazing series of content back to back.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
dishing out real
Absolutely.
value. Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you
thank you.
so much. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I have to do this online. I forgot to mention. Are you able to put your phone on landscape so that we have your full screen on the stage?
Oh
Is that
wow,
fine?
should I
Or your
be?
tripod is not in a way that it can.
My tripod is set in a way that it's
It's
portrait.
a portrait. Are you able
Yeah,
to adjust it? If not, we can just leave it and go ahead. That's fine.
let's try
Okay. Yes.
the other way.
It's the one way. No, I
It's
think it's
sometimes.
just you probably need to arm your auto rotate. That's why it's not rotating yet. If you arm your auto rotate, then we're able to
Okay,
do
okay.
that. Yes.
Let's see. Let's see.
Guys, this is what I love about live sessions. Like anything can happen. But this is the fun part of it, that's it. We are humans too, okay? And we are not we're not robots. So thank you. Exactly. I love it
Is this
now.
showing my
Yes.
face?
Yeah, just move it up a bit so that we can see your face on it.
How about now?
We can't see your full face yet.
Should I move the tripod
Yeah,
backward?
move the tripod backwards, or if you have a stack of books, you can just put it under it so that it stays, so that it's getting higher. It's a bit elevated to see your face. I am so sorry. We should have
Hmm?
done this before we came live, but that's okay.
Okay. Let's see if I can increase the length of the tripod, possibly.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Guys, please pardon us. We actually did our checks before, but I forgot to mention that he needed to put it on landscape. So these things happen when you're doing a live session. Woo, we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
How far?
Okay.
That's too bad.
It's cutting off your head a little bit, though.
Ah,
I'm so sorry.
what's wrong with this stuff? And this is the
It's
highest
on the
length.
floor, right? That's the highest,
Yeah,
and you cannot stay on a
yeah.
table.
It will be too big.
It will be too.
It will be
I know,
too.
but then you
It will be
can.
too
I saw you
long.
increase the volume, but this is
The
the
le-
volume. Increase the length. You can decrease it when it's on the table.
okay.
It has the
Please, I
the
have
three
to
stands, right? No
definitely
problem. So
sure.
okay, so yeah, do go ahead and do that while I just keep my audience. I'll get you
Well,
backstage. You'll study that and then you can come back. Is that
okay.
fine?
All right.
Awesome. All right, guys. Okay, so I am so sorry about that, but I mean these things happen. So we did our test just shortly before we came live, but I totally like missed it. I was extra excited. Sometimes when you are extra excited, these things happen. You just miss one step or something. But this is the beauty of being on having a live session is the fact that errors happen, but how are you able to work through it without letting it dampen your spirit? And this is something that I'm super good at. And and that's why just watch out. I mean, it's my birthday soon. Some big announcement coming. Oh, I'm super excited. I'm excited at the same time. I feel like frozen. It's a mixed feeling for me, but it always happens like that when my birthday is coming close. Like there's always this mixed feelings. Like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. Oh, what's gonna happen? Or how am I going to do this? Or all of those things, right? But just stay tuned for all the beautiful announcement that I'm going to be making as I count down to my birthday. It's going to be Monday, so just let you know so that if you want to go and prepare your gifts, you can start to prepare your gifts now. My birthday is on 11th of April, Monday, the 11th of April. I'm going to be turning +1, and so I appreciate all the gifts, the prayers, the suggestions. Normally, I would just put out like a form to get feedback so that I can grow to become a better person. The last feedback I sent like that last year, amazing, amazing, amazing feedback that I got, and it has really helped me in shaping me in becoming better or becoming a better person than I was last 2 years. So I'm looking forward to that feedback again to be able to interact with what you think. If you've interacted with my brand up until now, to be able to come and say, oh, these are the areas that I really love you, and these are the areas that I think you can work on. And that is why today's topic is really, really interesting for me, how to connect to your higher self. I love the topic, and I'm really curious to know what Val Okafor has to say about higher self, right? And not higher as in HIGHER, but higher as in HIRE. So more like higher, being hired, right? But let me not steal his topic because I really do not know what the topic is about. And that's why this segment was created to share knowledge, basically. So I really want to dive into what he has to share with us, how to connect to your higher self. Yes. So that is the topic for the day. I'm going to put it on the screen right now while we get ready to bring back our guest on the show. So I can see you in the studio, Val. Can you still move it backward a little bit? Your head is still being cut off a bit. Yes, just a little bit. So you can raise it up a little bit, or you have to go out. You probably have to sit relaxed so that we can see your full frame, your full picture in the frame. Okay, guys. So while Val is just trying to set up his studio right now, I'm just engaging you. Please, I see that there are 2 people online right now. Where is everybody else? It's so funny how people be like, oh, I'll be right there, I'll be there, and then they don't show up. But seriously, if we have to, as content creators, just go by the amount of responses we get sometimes, then we will stop putting our content. But at the end of the day, I know that even if you don't catch the live content, you're able to go back and do the replays. But most times it's always interesting and more engaging when you are here for the live session. So for you who are here right now, could you do me a favor and share the link? But also drop a comment, let me know that you're here, say a hi or something, engage with us, because that's one of the other reasons why we're having these live sessions, to drive more engagement, to have you in the room, virtual room in this regard, to be able to, engage with us, engage with the speaker that we have or the guest that we have, and ask live questions. So if you're here, do drop a hi in the comments, and also do well to share the link with your community. All right. I think my guest is ready now for us, and then we're going to take it away. Yes, you just have to sit back and relax. Don't worry, we can hear you clearly since you are using. I love it. Okay, I'm bringing you on stage right now.
Um,
Fantastic. Yes.
okay,
Okay. This
so
is good.
it's okay. It's okay
Yes.
right now. Oh wow, oh wow. Now I'm struggling to just relax like this, you
I
know.
know, right? Like I know when
Uh,
the talk is entering now, you don't know when
yeah, that kind of
you
thing.
want to enter into the screen. Like this is what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch when you are in your zone. Like it's such a
Yeah.
beautiful thing to watch when you're in your zone. And so don't worry, we would understand, okay? And at least and at least you can also see yourself on the screen to know that, oh man, I'm entering the screen
Yeah,
too much, man.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, so this is like a guide to know when to, relax, comfort, and do all the other things.
Exactly. It's just fun. Thank you so much for being here. Let's now start officially. How are you doing today, Val?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And yeah, it's sunny here in North Central Zone, region of Nigeria. I'm
You're
based
in
in
the
Jos,
north.
Nigeria. Yes, I'm in the north.
Ooh, cool. Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. And you're doing amazing work. Well done,
Thank
well
you
done.
very much.
So
Thank
I'm going
you.
to ask
Thank
a
you.
quick, question just to get to know your person, and then we get into the topic of the day.
Sure.
What informed your decision to become a change maker or an impact driven person as you are? Because I believe you're still young, even though it could be like maybe, I don't know how old you are. Maybe I'm guessing between 25 and 30, but still the impact you are making speaks for itself. What informed your decision to go this route?
Yes, thank you. So I'm in my 20s. You're right. So one of the things that informed my decision to be a change maker is because our children will not care about the excuses we're going to give to them. We can
Hmm.
decide to tell them anything, but they won't agree. So it's one thing to say, "I was born poor." Okay. What did your mates do? Why are you still poor? So I learned something great, that you can be born poor. It's not your fault. But if you die poor, you are to be blamed. So if
Hmm.
I die without making a change, then I have no excuse to give to the next generation. And seriously, I love to be a solution provider, more than complaining, and more than being part of those who will want to complain and talk bad about maybe the government or stakeholders or agencies or organizations. Yeah, I want to do something positive in my world, and that is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love it. And on this journey so far, like what has been the best moment for you and the worst moment for you?
Oh, best moment. Best moment, is to see people whose lives we've been able to touch,
Hmm.
do great things for themselves and for their families and for their communities. I remember just recently, one of my students who I taught in secondary school is he's a singer now, a
Hmm.
gospel artist, being invited here and there. I've been appearing on global stages, and I cast my mind back to when he was in class
Hmm.
as a secondary school student, where I will use 10 minutes to talk about life lessons, talk about vision, talk about purpose discovery. So that's like the best moment for me, to be
Hmm.
able to see myself replicated in the lives of those who have ever come in contact with me. Worst
Wow.
moment, well, I would say, is not being able to discover myself in time.
Hmm. Really? You think? You think?
Yeah, I wish I had someone who taught me about purpose at 10, at 11, and that's why you see we are channeling our energy to the younger generation. I mean,
Catch them
catch it
young.
to yeah, catch them young. Train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from
Not
it. So
depart from it.
it was an intentional statement. And if we want to correct any mistake effectively, then we need to start from the younger ones.
Absolutely.
So I think
Absolutely.
for me that would be, even though I don't see it as a worst moment, but if I have the chance to go back and correct something, then I should know myself at age 9 or at age 10.
Hmm. Wow. So when did you then get into this space of, understanding, oh, this is purpose? What age was it for you? Because
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
19 years. 19. Yeah.
Ah, okay. But I mean, it's still, well, I understand you. Like, if it was earlier, it would have been way better. It would have been way
Yeah,
better. You could have done much more by now. But I mean,
exactly.
I'm still glad that you've caught it as at least early, because I mean, for people like us, like, gosh, we are so late to the party. We are so late. But like, I was in a conversation with somebody earlier today. Like, if you sit on that and sit on the
Mm,
fact that, my God, I feel like I'm late. Like, I feel like I've not started, making impact early. And you sit on that, then you would not. You just give up. Like, what
that's
can
true.
I do? What else can I do? Right? And I'm like,
That's true.
somebody close to their 40s and thinking, I started late. Like, look at people in their 19s, in their 15s doing amazing stuff. And like, but if you don't know how long more, God has given you. So if God is blessing you with 60 years and you're currently 40 and you think you're late, what's going to happen for the next 20 years?
20
Are you going to
years.
give up those 20 years to say because you did not start early? So I feel like, just plug in this here before we go into the discussion of the day. Whatever level you are at, if there is a call in your heart right now that feels like you are late already, do not sulk on being late. Ask yourself, what can I do from here on to make a difference? I don't know how long I have left, but what can I do from here on to make a difference, and start making that difference? And people, I feel like sometimes we kind of commonize the difference we make. We kind of commonize the impact we make because we compare ourselves with others who are doing big stuff. The small stuff you do, you not looking away when you're supposed to chastise the younger generation for doing something wrong, adds, because you correcting that young person today might be something that young person is going to hold on to become the change agent that they need to be for the next generation. And you've affected a whole generation without even knowing it. So no impact is too small. As long as
Yeah,
you know it's pointing somebody in the right direction, go for it. Okay. So this is my
that's
word of
true.
encouragement before we jump
That's
into.
true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now, Okafor, tell me, Val, what do you mean by how to connect? What is higher self, first of all, then before you
Yeah,
now tell us the how?
yeah. So, okay, let me just say this, that this is the first time I would be teaching on this topic. First time
Mm.
on this platform. I've had it in mind to share with so many people, but I said, okay, let's do this here. You
Okay,
know,
fantastic. So this is exclusive moment right here. Thank you so much.
all right. So before I explain what that topic means, I have here with me a one-page CV, and I'm going to read it to you. So I was the one that crafted the CV for someone. So I'm just going to read it out to explain what higher self means. So, of course, the career summary states that highly motivated individual with extensive training in leadership and effective communication, skilled in communicating and collaborating effectively with all level of personnel by relying on excellent interpersonal and communication skills. He stated that his core competencies are team player with high sense of commitment, exceptional interpersonal and communication skills, passionate, conscientious, motivated, and people oriented. Right. Now, he was able to put this together to impress whosoever that will hire him, his employer, right? Now, your higher self is your best self. You know, this is his higher self. Everything that is written here, to be able to impress whosoever that will sit on the other side of the table, either as an interviewer. Okay? So connecting to your higher self means connecting to the best version of yourself. So it's as simple as that. Now you see that many people, I mean, some people lie about their CV. They write fantastic things about themselves. I've done this, I've done that, awards here and there, because they want to create an impression, because they want you to perceive them as somebody who is very important, somebody who can take on this responsibility and not mess up, somebody who wants to be celebrated, somebody who wants to be seen as a role model. That is your higher self. So, but now we want you to be able to connect to that higher self, from who you are originally to your higher self, to your high performing you, to the best version of yourself. So that's what it means when you look at the topic. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love the simplicity of it, but the, what would I call it now? The coinage of it, you know. So you are projecting your hireable self, somebody who is able to hire you. And now let me just ask this: does it mean this is, you know, restricted to career or work?
No, 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 no,
Because when I
no.
actually, when I heard the word hire, that's what came to mind. Because okay, it
Yeah.
means, am I looking for a job? But how does
No,
this, you
no.
know, encompass
Yeah,
or move beyond?
definitely. So the word higher is admittance. The word higher is acceptance. So I'm going to be sharing on personal higher self and professional higher self. So what
Fantastic.
the conversation we're going to be having today will make you to be somebody who is person driven and not things driven, right? I
Say
was
that
sharing with
again.
you
Say that
to be a
again. What
person
is the
driven,
difference? Yes.
person driven than things driven. I don't want to
Mm.
be a good husband. I want to be a good person, such that anybody who
Wow.
comes in contact with me will love me and want to be with me. Automatically, I will be a good husband. I don't want to graduate in first class. I want to be the best student that has ever
Students.
gotten to the university in my department. So
Wow.
first class comes naturally to someone like me, and that's why I said be person driven and not things driven. So I'm going to be talking about personal higher self, professional higher self, and lots of things, that will make
Awesome.
you to be likable even at work or as a person. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing
Fantastic.
today. So the word
Please.
higher is just admittance,
Mm.
acceptance. Yeah.
Mm. Fantastic. I love it. Please go away. Just dive us. Take us on that ride right now.
Okay, so let me start from the professional angle. So if you find yourself in an organization, okay, in 2021 I launched a service known as Workforce Activation and Service Excellence Training for corporate staff, volunteers, and interns. And one of the things I teach them is money should be the last thing on your mind whenever you find yourself in an organization. So they say, okay, Val, money. Okay, so what should be on our mind? I say three things: value, excellence, and experience. Value, because people are attracted to anything that is worthy of their time, worthy of their energy, and worthy of their resources. They're like, okay, that sounds great. Experience, because one day you are going to launch your empire. And how would you, what are you going to deploy? It's going to be based on where you've worked before, who you worked for. All right. And then, and how you are able to interpret life situations. For example, most of us, we were in the university and we were put in the hostel, year one student here, year two student here, year three student, year four student here. Why did they position people like that so that we'll be able to interact at different levels, so that you'll be able to take the nonsense or the rubbish from the year one student? They're just trying to build your leadership skills and make you to be more tolerable in the outside world. So that's experience. Whatever you're going to be learning in that organization will be useful when you float your own. And then finally, excellence. Yeah, you're to work for excellence, because people do not see you as an individual. People see you as a group. So if you mess up, they will not say, let me use my host as an example. They will not say the energetic EJ messed up. No, so let's assume you're working for Microsoft. They will say you're Microsoft. In fact, these guys ain't good. Customer service bad. But they met just you. They met just you. And sometimes we do it some unconsciously. You see a boy coming back from school with torn trousers or without socks, and you're like, people that attend this school are so dirty. But you met one person. You met one person. So and that's the excellence you're talking about. So in an organization, these three things should come to mind: value, experience, excellence. And of course, we're talking about your higher self right now in a corporate world, in a group, in an organization. What other thing do you need to do? I think it's very important for you to understand the vision of that organization. Sometimes People get to work without knowing the destination of the company, without knowing where the company is going. All right, without so it helps you to think, how will I help this organization to move from where she is currently to her destination? So that keeps you on your toes, maybe to grab a skill or to learn something new to add to what you're doing currently that will move the organization from where she is currently to the next level. So you want to understand the vision, you want to understand the core values, you want to understand the mission of the organization where you find yourself. And then I'm going to just say this, that if your salary is the only thing the company loses every month, you don't have a job. I mean, you don't have a job yet. If it's all they lose. But think about it, that you just decide to go on a 1 week leave and everybody is screaming, oh my God, well, we are dead. Like this company is going to shut down because of your absence for 1 week. Then you know that you're really adding value that place. So think about it, all right? And that's why I said that money should be the last thing on your mind. When you focus on the three things I mentioned ab initio, then uh, you are already connecting to your higher self, to that realm where you are acceptable, where you are likable, where your boss can sleep with her two eyes closed, knowing that somebody like you is in that organization, and there will be no reason to fast and pray for no disaster to happen. Okay, so and then of course, being able to brand yourself as an A star. I tell people, do not see yourself as an employee, see yourself as a leader. So you need to move from being an employee to becoming a leader who takes responsibilities for things. So the era of, oh, it's not my job description, it's outside my job description, should end. You should be able to respond. You should be able to be proactive, to certain things. It's good to be candid, to say, I don't know this thing, but it takes one who is a leader, somebody who is proactive, to say, okay, I will find out how to do this thing. I don't know how to do this thing, but I will find out how to do this thing. So it moves you from just being an employee to being a leader. All right. So you take up responsibilities that will help become very relevant in that organization. All right, that's branding yourself as an A star, that's connecting to your higher self. And of course, I shared this with a group of people, I think early this year when we had a volunteer training. I told them, guys, if people are able to, you know, come to your organization because of you, it makes a whole lot of sense. Somebody can just say, I nothing is bringing me here, it's just because of you. Because of you, I'm coming to this place. Because of you, I just want to buy something. Because of you, I just want to commit something. Then you know that you're really making sense and you're adding value to that environment. And if we have 10 people, 12 people, 15 people in organizations who are doing the same thing, then of course you've conquered the market space, you've conquered the environment, because people want to connect to individuals. They are not after the colors and logos. No, those things are very important, but they want to be able to connect to people who truly love and care about them. So this topic is so all encompassing, both as an employer, both as an employee, so, but this one just targets the people who work as employees. What about employers? Your employees want, what they expect of you is to show that you love them, is to show that you care about their well-being, is to show that you're interested in their growth. Not just, guys, we need to make $10 million this month, we need to make $20 million next month. No, they want to be sure that you care about their well-being. So sometimes little things, like even knowing where they're from, what state are you from, what language do you speak, what's your cultural orientation, those things matter a lot. Things like, all right, so you have your bachelor's now, are you thinking about your master's, you want to get your PhD? That's someone who cares about the growth of the people he leads. So your employees want you to care about their well-being. They want an employer who loves them. So I'm going to tell you a story. During the birthday of a pastor, a regional pastor, he got text messages, happy birthday, sir. But next month was going to be the birthday of a smaller pastor in a very small place. And guess what? They bought him a Jeep. And he was asking, ah, during my birthday, just text messages and happy. So what's the difference? What's the difference? And I can tell you that the difference is simply because this one cares more about these people and not just holding the mic, standing behind the podium. He cares. Possibly he visits them. Possibly he knows them by their names. Possibly he knows the kind of businesses that they do. Possibly he shares opportunities that will make them to accelerate. These are the differences. So in connecting to your higher self, higher, being acceptable, being admitted, not just I said something yesterday, not just creating footprints in the sands of time, but in the hearts of people. Being able to create footprints in the hearts of people such that when your days on earth are over, we are going to be having discussions about the positive things you did with your life. I'll still come to that when I talk about your personal higher self. But I
That
don't
is
know
so
if
that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. But before we go on
yeah,
to the personal, so that we know, okay, we're done with the professional, it's when you
yeah,
mentioned, being a leader. So in your B2B, a star employee, right? You be a
yeah,
leader. You go beyond just, oh, this is my JD, it's above my
yeah,
JD and all of those things. And then you are able to then step in as a leader to know what is to be done. But then how do you not cross that line of showing up as a leader and overgiving of yourself, because there's such a thing as overgiving yourself, because it's like, even if you mentioned something like, it's okay to say I don't know this thing, but I will go and I might learn about it or something. But if it's not in your area of expertise and why you are in that company, how do you balance it of not just being, so that you don't come off as you know everything? Your employees or your colleagues will start
yeah,
to feel like, you know
definitely,
it all. What's this, right? How do
definitely.
you balance that?
Yeah, definitely. And that reminds me during Employee Appreciation Day. So I was invited to talk about these things. And I said, how employers can do this thing. You don't just say, Maxwell, you're the best in this company. Like you're the best. Every one of you, can't you see what Maxwell is doing? Look at our sales just increased because of no, you will defeat, there will be crisis in that company. There will be crisis in that company. So I shared an idea. I said, okay, what if you come this way? And then you call everybody and appreciate everybody. And you say, if you guys can just give a little more, put a little more effort, I'm sure you have it on the inside of you, just a little more effort, we will be able to scale. Okay. And somebody will begin to think, all right, I have it, so I just need to commit more. And so, in trying not to give up yourself and so that you don't burn out, I, I mean, the things that you're capable of doing. We all know what we're capable of doing. We know that if we just commit 1 hour to learning how to design something on Canva, we would be able to achieve it. But sometimes you just relax and say, I'm not a techie person, I'm not a graphics person. Well, we know that just 1 hour every day will help us to learn these things, and then we fold our arms. So that's where I'm going to. You can do this thing. Just commit more. Just give it a little more time. And I'm not asking you to shoot yourself in the foot. No, it's just being able to go over and beyond the line of duty, the conventional thing that people do. And that's actually what distinguishes you from an employee to becoming a leader. Because for your for your boss to be able to travel and commit the company in your hands, it means that you have gone the extra mile. Let me just help you with a very realistic example. Remember when Moses sent the 12 spies to go and spy the land of Canaan, right? 10 came back and said, hey, we're grasshoppers. I mean, these guys will just trample upon us and we're dead. But Joshua and Caleb saw that they were giants. Yes, he saw that they could be grasshoppers, but they came back and said, guys, we are well able. So it's about how you think and how you perceive and how what you think about yourself. So I see myself as a leader anywhere I find myself. I want to do more. I want to commit more, not to show off as a superhuman, but to leave a lasting impression in the heart of whoever is my employer and the people I'm working with. So that's actually what I mean.
Yeah, so it goes back to you just impacting people than things, because when it's the thing, it's just you having a good name before your boss. And so when you're doing that, when that is your intention, I think it goes back to your intentions, because when that is your intentions, then you don't care who you step on or trample on to get to your destination. But when
Yeah,
your intention is about leaving a lasting impression with the people that you work with, coming back to your point, like living, going about people and not just about things, then you put into consideration how they would feel, not because you want to please them per se, but you want to do the best of your ability to ensure that everyone is carried along, but you also, leave a great impact in whatever you do. So that's very, very fantastic and very, very worthy
definitely.
of note. Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now let's dive into the personal higher self. What is that
Yes.
about?
All right. All right. So, and this is very important because we have talked about being person driven and not just things driven. All right. So, this is so key because I love to say that at the end of the day, at the end of the day, at the end of life, when we're all gone, after chasing money, fame, affluence, and all this, one day people are going to gather and they'll call it funeral, and they're going to be saying a lot of things. They're going to be reading a lot of things. What would they read? Okay, what would they say about us? And that was what informed the first paragraph of that copy. So, assuming, just picture your life at 50, at 60, 70, 80, 90, all right? And then you have an opportunity to read a book of the life you've lived. What do you want to read in that book? Okay, let's also assume that you have an opportunity to write a book about the life that you're living now. What will be the content of that book? What will you write? So it goes back to being to us, being able to leave a great legacy. And a great legacy is not left after you're dead. Even while you're alive, you can leave a great legacy, and I'm going to actually talk about that. But let me start from the very beginning: how to connect to your higher self as a human being, as a person. And I love to say this. One, you have to change your mentality, okay, from me, myself, and I to we, all right, all the people, being able to do what I call having a value addition driven mentality. Okay, so you have a value addition driven mentality such that anywhere you go, you want to add value no matter how little. Anywhere you find yourself, in an environment, in a family, in a business, you want to add value. In a school, in a hostel, you want to add value. It's a mentality, all right? It's an attitude. So jettison me, myself, and I mentality, and then embrace a value addition driven mentality. A mentality that wants to give and not to take, a mentality that wants to offer help and not to take. I was surprised when somebody said, Val, how can I be of help to you? What? All the while I've been getting, come and help me, help me, help me, help me do this, help me do that, help me do this. But this person asked, how can I help you? My God, I was surprised. So
They
the
just
average,
that's a straight access pass, like that. Like, come into
I'm
my
telling
world.
you,
Like,
yeah,
he caught whoever
seriously.
that person is, caught your attention. That person separated
Exactly.
themselves from the crowd.
Yes,
Amazing.
yes, yes. And so it was really surprising because an average man wants to take, you know, and not to give. But here's Val saying, develop a value addition driven mentality. Be the person who wants to add value anywhere you find yourself. Be the change you wish your world has or your society has. All right. Be part of the solutions and not people who cause problems. And if you do this, it's one of the ways you can connect to your higher self personally. And someone will say, okay, how? How can I start? Okay, as a young person, I'm enthusiastic. I want to learn. How can I start? And of course, I will share my story. I don't know how much time I have, but I'll just share a little story of how I was able to connect to in my profile. You you read about being an ambassador of the Fela Durotoye stuff. Yeah. So how I connected to Fela Durotoye, how I connected to Noela Ogo and some top business consultants. And it was in the university. I studied at University of Nigeria in Suka, and for 2 years I was studying my environment. Okay. I was, what would I do? What will I do? And then I thought of something. I didn't want to leave Nsukka the way I met it. I didn't want to leave the community the way I met it. And already in 2017, I was, trying to understand my path, my trajectory, and where I want to, pitch my tent. And it happened to be in the leadership space. So that was the year Fela Durotoye floated his Fela Durotoye Leadership Network, and I signed up. So we started trainings upon trainings here and there, online, offline, and I began to understand myself as a leader and somebody who should create impact. And so some FD said, teach your friends, teach your campus course mates, teach your guys on campus. Okay, I said, okay, no problem. But here's what I did. I didn't teach my campus mates. I taught some kids, all right? I taught kids in rural areas. So the 10 values of nation building, I took it to some communities far away from the university, and I was teaching them how to be a solution provider and not part of the problem to be solved, how to be a role model worthy of emulation, how to do this, how to be, make their God proud, their family and their nation proud. I was doing all of these things for the children in that community. All right. So after that, I sent some reports to him on Facebook, and he said, Val, you warm my heart with this. And I was like, okay. I said, okay. I thought it ended there, but it didn't. He went on Instagram, he wrote one thesis, appreciating the work. And my friend called me on phone and said, Val, have you checked FD's post? I said, no, guys, I can't check it. So I went there, I saw a long thesis, and I came and said, so I don't have to do this. He said, no, they really have to. So in 2018, I met him live. That was the first time I met him live. And then, some fantastic things happened after that time. So but the basis of the story is just being able to impact, to add value with my skill, with the knowledge I've gotten, and to make Nsukka a better place by focusing on the younger generation. And the same thing happened when I met and connected with Noella Ugo, who is also a management consultant. And we just met on Facebook, and I loved her fantastic works, how she'll be training bankers here and there. I saw somebody who was already living my dreams, my aspirations. Somebody was already living it. And so I connected, was liking the post, following up. And one day I got a call from her. I got a call. And I'm just trying to shorten the story. I got a call from her, and I screamed in my room. I was like, what? How? How did this happen? And she said, hello, Val. Sorry, am I onto Val? I said, yes, you're onto Val Okafor. I said, okay, I've gone through your Facebook post and I like what you're doing. I think that you will help us to coordinate an event in Nsukka. Like, she's based in Lagos, and she wants to do an event in Nsukka. And she said, you are the right person to do it for us. And I said, I'm all in, without even asking for
No
details.
questions asked. I'm in.
No questions. I'm in. I saw my Elijah. I was this Elisha. I saw my Elijah. I wanted to pour water in her hands. So I accepted the role, and I never knew what I was up against. Nsukka is a rural community, and this is like bringing finishing school and advanced kind of learning to children who had never experienced that stuff before. So I I was going from house to house, knocking on doors, you know,
Wow.
asking parents, let your kids attend this event, it's going to change their lives. And they're like, what? What is vision? What is leadership? What is
Hey.
that? I'm telling you honestly, I'm like, no, ma, it's going to help them. Someone asked me, how can a 10-year-old learn about leadership? Will it be the governor? I say, no, leadership is not about being the
Oh
governor.
my
It's about
God.
being able to understand yourself and set your goals and achieve them. Say, okay, that sounds nice. All right, write your name. It was going to be free. So I was moving from church to church, announcing, house to house, announcing.
Wow.
And then at the
Wow.
end of the day, and this was an undergraduate. This was an undergraduate in his 300 level. Being doing this. I was also group leaders of so many groups. Leading so many groups, and then I took on this responsibility. But I told myself something. No, I didn't want to end up like the average Nigerian student who will, after school, start looking for job. I'm not ready for that. I don't have that time. So I want to be able to learn all the skills I need so that when I'm out, now I have my company and I have people who are working. You understand? So that's what I want to
Wow.
do. So I want to be able to learn everything as quick as possible. Now, we got 150 kids in attendance for the first time. In
Wow.
a city like Unsuka, 150. When she came, it was as though we've met. It's just like meeting the energetic EJs, as though, I mean, I've known you for ages,
I
because of
know.
similar values, because of similar
Wow.
values and purpose and all that. So when she came, she saw everything coordinated, kids seated, arranged. In fact, the volunteers were my course who were supposed to go on vacation, but they stayed back. I told them, guys, they're not going to pay you. Or, they said, no, 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 no. We are with you on this. So
When you
10
catch
man
the
volunteer,
vision, it can never be about the
lunch was
money.
served, breakfast was served. So
Wow.
parents were happy, kids were happy, everybody were excited. And guess what? The next year, 2019, the University of Nigeria partnered with us, to make it bigger. So we had 150 in 2018. In 2019, we had 240 in partnership with the university, and more kids were impacted. More parents were happy, more lives were transformed. And so and that relationship grew. And something happened. I noticed that my name on her phone in 2018 was Val from Facebook. In 2019, I noticed that it has changed to Val Okafor. So I'm like, okay, what happened between this one year? And it's simple, just being able to add value. So all these stories and all this illustration is just being able to add value, having the mentality of adding value and not, asking, okay, assuming I asked her, Ma, you're going to pay me because I have bills to pay, I have handouts to buy. Possibly she would have given me 100,000 naira, and 2018 it would have finished scene, and we'll part ways. I wouldn't know her, I mean, but today the relationship is still growing
Hmm.
strong, and you can't even imagine how many times she had recommended me, to
For
greater
bigger gigs.
people and opportunities
Absolutely.
within and outside the country. Yeah. So it's being able to develop this mentality to add value in your church. What can you do? You are eloquent. Okay, you can speak. You can impact the lives of these young people. Just teach them how to brush their teeth, how to dress, how to put on their tie. As simple as that. Because I remember what I was doing is just to help them to understand how WAEC works now, and UTME and all that. That was what I was doing in my sphere of influence. Okay, so you maybe don't want to do it in the church, you want to do it in school, or you want to do it in the community, but something that will be able to add value to the lives of those around you. That's connecting to your higher self as a person. It's a mentality. Okay, yeah. So it's a mentality. I don't know if EJ
Wow.
wants to say something before I
Wow.
just
Wow. Can you
go to the next
Yeah, can you
point.
hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
And
Because I think there's a lag. Can you hear me?
yeah, sure, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Like
I can
it's
hear you.
just I love thank you for sharing your story or that part of your story because this is the point. This is the point of everything, that I do as a person of impact myself is to show people the references, is to show the next generation, the younger people, my target audience are 18 to 45ish or 35ish, right? To say, see, there is a lot you can
Oh
do
wow.
and stop making it stop commonizing it, whatever it is you can do. If it's small, keep doing it and keep impacting the next life, whoever is around you. And I understand personally because I understand that journey of not knowing, oh, who am I sent to? What should I do? What can you do? Do it to anybody in your vicinity that will find value in it at the time. Because in your journey, as you grow, it becomes clearer who exactly you've been called to. And I just love how you took up that opportunity to go knock door to door. Ah, that's dedication. Like that is commitment on another level. What? Even I
Yeah.
don't think I've gone that level before. That is so admirable. But it comes from a place of determination, knowing that this is the kind of person that I want to be. This is the kind of impact that I want to leave
Exactly.
behind. And I love that you didn't even put money first. It's hard. It's sad to see that a lot of young people nowadays cannot even be bothered about thinking about the
Yeah.
next 2 years. They just want it now.
Yeah.
What is
Now.
in it for me now? Like, how much are you paying me? What are you doing for me now? How can I, and that's the mentality that drives people. Why people now go ahead and go to from inbox to inbox, say, oh my God, I want you to be my mentor. Like, I've
Mm.
legitimately seen people do that. Like, so I belong to so many different groups, right? And so in those different groups, we keep, dishing value as much as we know to dish. And so I've found a particular person who actually sends similar message to different people.
Oh.
So one speaker comes and the person goes, oh my God, I've been, in fact, you have, like, your session was so amazing. You have done such an amazing work. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you are sent to me. Send to that person, send the same similar message to another person, the same similar message to, and I'm like, okay, are you sure you're not hurting yourself by doing this? Because now you're looking to 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 say, oh, this person, let me take from you. And there's nothing wrong with that, really. But when you don't now sit and say, okay, how can I actually add value to this person? So that
Exactly.
they can then, bring you closer into it, because there is more. See, for anybody that you're able to look at from afar to say, oh my God, look at the amount of impact this person is making. There is more to that person than that thing which you have contacted from afar. So what
Yeah.
you should be thinking, if what they are doing makes the baby in you leap, makes your own heart palpitate, like, oh my God, this is exactly what I want to do, or this is similar to what I want to do. What you should be thinking at that level is, how can I get into this person's space and not just get there to take, but what can I give in exchange to get access to this person? How can I
Yeah.
serve? Like, I am so big on service. There are people in my life right now that I have no business being in their lives or in their corners, if I had not served
Mm.
my way into where they are. If I had not found a way to be of service to them or to be of help to them, such that they now consider me a member of their inner circle, such that they are now, my business is their business, even without inviting them to be in my business. That kind of, when you have the opportunity,
Yeah.
just like when
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah.
like, they're looking at you like, hey, what are you doing there? You did not go to them to say, please help me check this thing out, or this thing I'm doing, is it good? No. But they are so, in a way, invested in you that they want the best for you, and they come after you to correct you when you are doing wrong, or to tell you, to give you their free suggestions, right? Unsolicited suggestion. And that is priceless. When you have people that you look up to come to that, place where they are actually looking after you, like you have something going, and just keep on going. So, but how do you get there is what we're talking about today. Connecting to your
Exactly.
higher self. There is something there. I don't know why I keep repeating this, but I feel like there is somebody who is watching this right now, or who is going to watch this eventually, who you think that, I don't have any special gift, I don't have any special talent, my dear, but you know something. And there is at least one time that one person has come to you for that thing that you know, to say, I know you know this thing, can you please teach me? Hold on to
Yeah.
that thing. Do not commonize it. Do not be like the talent, the servant who went and buried
Very
that one
determined.
talent because it is
Exactly.
one, because he found
Yeah.
that somebody else has five, somebody else
Mm-hmm.
has two, so me, that is
Mm-hmm.
just one. What's this? No, do not commonize it. Whatever it is you know how to do well, please continue to serve with that thing, because it is when you serve with it that you will discover the other things that are in you. They are just
Yeah.
in potential form, but when you serve with the one that you have recognized, then you are able to birth the remaining one. So I don't know who
Exactly.
this is for, but please remember that do not commonize that which is in your, like Daddy J would always say. What's that thing he would say? I'm sure you can help
He
me.
said,
When he says
yeah,
that,
sure, sure. He
what
said,
is in your, I forgot how I said
use
it,
what you
please.
have. Use what you have, for what you have is
Is
plenty.
enough.
Yeah.
Yes, what you have is plenty.
It-
Use what you have, for
uh,
what you have is
it's plenty.
plenty. Do not
Yeah.
commonize it. Do not commonize. I think that that's one place where a lot of people now struggle to now say, "Oh, I don't have any special talent. I don't have it." It does not have to be special. Just look at what Val shared now, saying that all he did at the beginning was tell younger students, this is how you position for YA, this is how you position for
Mhm.
JAM, this is how you knot your tie. It seems simple, but I don't, the impact that would have made in the life of those kids. Now, those kids will also pay it forward, knowing that they
Definitely.
can teach the next class that is junior to them how to
Yeah.
not do something or how to do
Mm,
something better. And that's
exactly.
the impact we're talking about. Fantastic. Thank you
Exactly.
so much, Val. Like, this has been valuable as far as I'm concerned. This is my personal
Thank
opinion.
you.
I don't know about you
Thank
guys.
you.
If
Thank
you're
you.
watching
Thank
this
you.
right now,
Uh,
you're here, please drop a comment if you found this valuable so far. All right. So, in addition to what you shared already, just
yeah.
being a person of value, and that is how you connect to your higher self. So, if
Yes.
somebody is watching this now or later,
Yeah.
a young person, I hope, because I really do hope that young people are going to binge on this and just know that, see, it is never too late, number one, and it is
Yeah.
never too early, number two.
Yeah.
So if you are online at this stage, whether you are 12 or 15 or 19, it is not too late. It's a good time.
Exactly.
It's a perfect time
Yeah.
for you to start adding value to other people. But where to
Yeah.
start from is, first of all, knowing yourself, determining in yourself that you want to be a person of value. Then that's where you're able to look within and say, okay, what do I have that is of value right now that I can use in serving others as a means of adding value to others and growing myself in the process. So, in your
Sure.
final words, Val, what would your
Yeah.
final words be to connecting to your higher self?
Okay, so to wrap up this conversation, which I am wishing it shouldn't end, I just
No
want to
worries,
talk
we can
about.
bring you back. We can bring you back again. That's not a problem at all. Seriously.
All right, so thank you for the extra time, but I just wanted to talk about building a great legacy, and you don't have to be dead to build one. Last Sunday, I was invited to a church to train their young leaders. And I told them something I've been sharing. I told them that here's the truth. You see, your children will love you because you're their parents. I mean, you can't take that away. They will love you because you gave birth to them, because you provided their school fees, you provided food and shelter, security for them. But you see, when it comes to choosing a role model or a mentor, I'm sorry, your name may not be on the list. I'm telling you. And so that fear, or that awareness, makes me to not just be a father, but to want to be a role model too. So I want to be a father and a role model. I want my wife to be a mother and a role model, such that even though they may not want to do what I'm doing, but they will look at my life and steal some principles, from what I'm doing and apply to themselves. And that leads me to talking about building a great legacy. How can you build a great legacy? First of all, there are three types of legacies: that positive, negative, and worse legacy. Positive legacy is that people feel great after meeting you. Like, this is the first time myself and EJ will be connecting, and I feel so great already. I feel great connecting with her. That's a positive legacy. And I can tell somebody that that lady, amazing, fantastic. Can you see what she's doing for the people of Africa who are living in Africa and outside Africa? Connect with her, So that's a positive legacy. And then there's a negative legacy, and the negative legacy is that people feel bad, having interacted with you. And sometimes I tell people, you need to care about what people say. People say, I don't care what people think about me. You need to start caring, because your reputation is a sum total of people's opinion, especially when you're not in the room. So when you're not around, what are people saying about you? I mean, when your name is being mentioned, are people going to hiss and say, "Shh," and then next topic? Or are people going to feel excited and they are all glowing with smiles? And then there's the worst legacy. The worst of it all is that people can't remember ever interacting with you. That's the worst. That's the worst kind of legacy. People can't even remember. And so in building a great legacy, just pay attention to these three things: one, your words, and then your choices, and then the actions that you take. So your words, what do you say, what do you speak, and your words seasoned with salt. If you know that you're going to feel bad when people say to you what you've been saying to people, then do not say it. I tell people that I can't understand how that somebody will not have money, and also not have good words. Igbo people have an adage that if an in-law doesn't have money, at least he should have a good mouth, a be good words. Yes, encourage people, say good things about what people are doing. Don't join people on Instagram to abuse and curse. I even saw one today. People were cursing each other, and I don't understand, how we do this thing. So your words are to be seasoned with salt, with grace. Let somebody live. I mean, live. Let somebody have life after listening to you. You may not have the words to offer, right? Silver and gold we do not have, but as much as we have, we'll give unto you. So give people life with the words of your mouth. Give people strength, encourage them. They're doing something, encourage them. You may not be able to say, take 1 naira or take $1, but you're like, what you're doing is changing lives. I just want to encourage you to keep it up. That will go a long way in strengthening somebody, in making somebody to know that they are not wasting their time, and then someone somewhere believes in them, and that's just enough to keep their fear burning, to keep their passion burning. So your words are very important, and this is part of building your legacy. Remember the words legacy. So if you keep saying bad things about people, castigating people, slandering people, then nobody would want anything to do with you. And then the next thing are your choices, the choices that you make. So what choices are you making currently? I want to be, I've said it before, I want to be a father and also a role model. That's the choice I've decided to make for myself. All right, so I want to be a father, and I also want to be a role model. I want to be a solution provider. I want to come into a place and people are like, who is this guy? And not just because I want to show off, but because it's in nature to always add value, or in nature to make something better, than I met that thing. So great choices. And if you study the kind of, I mean, leaders we have, you can imagine the kind of choices they're already making, without caring about their the next 2 years or the next 3 years, and you can imagine the kind of prayers the people who you lead are praying. It shouldn't be so. People should wish that you live long. People should wish that you blossom, not the other way around. Not asking that thunder or lightning or earthquake should happen, and then but it's because of the choices that you are making. As an employer, you come into the office and everybody is just arranging themselves, and I mean, you have I7 staff. It shouldn't be so, and that's because of the choice that you've made.
Oh, wow, your network is now misbehaving. Oh no!
Oh,
But
am I
guys,
still in the show?
yes, you're back now. You're back now. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know.
Such
Am I still in the show? Am I still in the show? Am I still
you're
in the
back
show?
now. Yes, you're back now. Can you hear me? You're back now. I can hear you now. Although it's breaking, but
Yeah, I
I
can
can
hear
hear you
you.
now.
Okay, so I'm back
Okay,
now.
fantastic.
Oh,
Yes,
great,
yes.
great, great. Okay, so oh, great. All right. So finally, right. Finally, it's the actions that you take. So what actions will you take that will better your life? And make you to connect to your higher self. What are the actions that you're taking? What will you start doing immediately that will, begin to put you in a better perspective, especially amongst people. And to wrap it up and to say thank you for listening, I just want to say this, that your name can either be a padlock or a key. Your name can either be a padlock or a key. So if I mention EJ, well, people say, oh, wow, Val, great lady, what do you want us to do for you? Or will they say, God forbid? No, which of the EJ are you talking about? So your name can either be a padlock or a key. I want my name to open doors of opportunity for my children and my children's children. I want them to mention Val, and they're like, is it a Okafor? And they say, yes. Your father was a great man. He impacted lives. He transformed societies. What do you want? And EJ, remember, the same thing happened. So people don't think, oh, Val, this is sweet talk. It's not sweet talk. It happened when Jonathan died, and then David became king. And David asked a question. He said, is there any remnants in the house of Saul so that I can show him kindness for Jonathan's sake? And they mentioned Mephibosheth, who was living in a city called Lodeba. He was crippled, forgotten. But for Jonathan's sake, Mephibosheth started feeding on the table with David. Why? The relationship between Jonathan and David. David, remember, Jonathan will save him from Saul when he was about to be killed. And we leak some secrets. Hey, Dave, my dad is coming to your direction. Leave this place. All of those things he remembered when he became king, and said, mention somebody who is remaining in the house of Saul so that I can show him kindness for Jonathan's sake. The same thing will happen, especially when you're not around anymore. And people will ask, this man really impacted. I'm just feeling I'm talking too much now, but I just want to give this another example of Dorcas who died, and the widows were crying and say they said, Peter, we don't agree. Oh, who will sew clothes for us? Who will do this for us? And you must raise her from the dead. It goes to show that this woman lived a life of impact. She wasn't like the average woman.
And she wasn't a
gave
rich woman
herself
either
to the people.
Mm.
And yeah, so she wasn't one billionaire
Wasn't a
somewhere,
wealthy, exactly. She
So,
wasn't
and the
wealthy.
women, exactly. It's just about impact. If you can't give 1,000 out of 10,000, I doubt if you're able to give 1 million out of 100 million. So you don't assume a leadership position. No, you just transit. You don't assume it. You transit. What you're doing now is what you'll probably be doing in the next 10 years. it's life. It's by the time you get it right, then it follows that trajectory. So
Wow.
this is where I will. This is where my talk will end, and I hope that you've been able to get something meaningful from this conversation.
It's so beautiful to see when you connect with your kind, when you connect with your tribe, and when you are in the zone doing that which you love to do. It's not fluff.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I'm just here because I'm here as a guest. No, this is what
Yeah.
I say on a daily. This is how I speak. This is what I
Yeah.
believe. This is who I am. You don't get it? Oh my God. So good. Like, I could listen to you all day, but you see, let's not, over drag this. Like, because of people who are going to catch the replay, and people are so lazy nowadays. Like, they just want to sit down 5 minutes,
Yeah, exactly.
and social media has conditioned a lot of people. 5 seconds, 2 seconds. People cannot keep attention anymore. People cannot even engage in conversations anymore, and it is eating deeper and deeper and deeper. I just hope. I hope that what we are doing here, we would begin to catch our own type and begin to change this narrative for the next generation. Not to just be about instant gratification, but to know that there is such a thing as delayed gratification, and it is for our own benefit. When you're able to just pause, hold on, finish what you're currently doing, hold on, go through the process of what you're doing. Yes, you come on this live session now, we are almost rounding up. The patience to go back to the beginning and hear what is being said, what has been shared so far. Like, not a lot of us can do that. But there is no, it's like, we will try our best to create the bite-size conversation and things like that, but we still need to talk about these things at length. We still need to be able to engage in this conversation at length, and not just break it down into small bites, because what we are trying to do is change that narrative, change that reality that, oh, people are too,
It's not.
attention span. That's what we're trying to correct. We want to correct your attention span and give you quality content
Yeah,
that you can sit with
exactly.
and extract great things from, not just size
Yes.
bite here and there. Woof! But well, we know our own, and we just hope that you will come and join us in our own tribe. This is what we do in our tribe. We dish value. We are able to sit down with long content and consume it and extract the juice out of it. You cannot be a student of night school and be wanting small bites of stuff. Anyways, let me now
It's not
just continue
possible.
and
It's not
elongate this
possible.
conversation. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us. I see your comments. Wistek says, wow, happy to see you,
Wow.
Val, once again. Peace Ekechi says, you use what you have for what you have is
Oh,
plenty.
wow.
Absolutely. And he says, it's been an awesome
Thank you so
conversation.
much.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for being here. Please, if you joined us late, do well to go catch the
Appreciate it.
replays, watch it from the beginning, and also drop a comment in the comment section. If you are yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, please do
Yeah.
that. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. And also, there is a link there that says buy us a coffee. We want to be able to continually dish out great content, bring up great guests, and use, ride on technology to deliver to you quality content. So we need your support in that regard. So you can click on the buy me a coffee and buy us a cup of coffee for as low as $5 every month. Okay. Thank you so much, Val, for being here today. It's been an amazing conversation. Like you said, it felt like, oh, we've known each other for long. And it's just amazing that this is the first time we're connecting one-on-one, on a platform like this. I look forward to when I'm going to meet you in person, soon. And, taking this conversation higher.
Same
Thank you
here.
so
Same
much.
here.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, till I come your way again. Tomorrow
It's
is
my
another day
pleasure.
for another,
Pleasure.
yeah, for another content. We have Fun Friday tomorrow, so look out for that. And then we're back again on Monday with Business Monday, Discovery Tuesday, the woman, her story, her impact on Wednesdays, and Thursday live sessions, and then another Fun Friday. This is how we are here to serve you at the Afrocentrist podcast. Choose your choice, pick the segment that speaks most to you, and follow us on across our platforms. God bless you. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful weekend ahead. Bye.